I have shown some videos in the past on this stream. For those of you who don't know music theory, are in the process of learning music theory, or in some kind of a rut, there are plugins you can use to help you. Some of those are Scalar, Cthulhu. Those are just a couple that are good, that can help you write chords and different things like that. It can be great for writing if you're in a block, if you don't know music theory. You really don't need to know music theory to make dope beats. What I will say is it's good to know at least some music theory. I know some music theory. I've been studying music theory here and there for a while. By no means am I a crazy jazz piano player or anything like that, but I can write. I definitely recommend anyone in here to know a minimal amount of music theory, so I'm going to give away some of that right now. I'm going to show you guys some ways you can know how to write a major chord, how to write a minor chord, and that sort of thing. And also, once you know how to write a major and minor chord, what you can do with it. Actually, for any of you who are freaked out right now, like, oh no, music theory, bear with me. I'm going to make it really simple. This is not music theory for pros. This is just kind of an introduction to music theory, how you can learn it and apply it literally right now. Let me show you how to do that. I'm just going to load up XLN Audio Addictive Keys. I really like this plugin because it's fast, and we're going to load up a piano sound. This is going to apply to everyone in here who has a MIDI keyboard or doesn't. I'm actually going to show you guys how to do it just in the piano roll, so you don't even need to know how to play it on your keyboard. I'm going to make a MIDI clip, and I'm going to show you guys how to write chords. So the way I would do it is first pick what key you're going to write in. Let's write in E minor. So I would turn on the preview, so when you click the note, you can hear it. When you're writing a chord progression, it consists of major or minor chords. A chord is a succession of notes. For example, I'm going to write an E minor chord. So the way to do that is you write the root note, which is E, because we're in E minor. And to write a minor chord, you're going to count up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an E minor chord. Again, the way that you know it's E minor, you start it from 0, the root note E, count up 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's E minor. So now you can take this F minor, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, so on. That's a simple way to write an E minor chord. If you want to write an E major chord, what you do is take the second note and you raise it up 1. So start at E 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an E major chord. And if we bring that back down, E minor. Listen again. So a lot of people talk about the difference between minor and a major chord is a minor chord sounds a little more sad and a major chord sounds a little more happy. I don't really agree with that because music is subjective. For me, it doesn't have that same impact on me. I'm not into sad music per se, but I tend to like minor chords. I'm not going to get too advanced today, but that's an E minor chord. You can write your progression. How I would do it personally is you can start writing a melody in E minor and then put in all your chords. Now in Ableton, there's a function called scale. So you can see what is in or outside of the scale. So this is E minor. Everything highlighted in pink is going to be in E minor. If you're just starting out, easy way to see what is what. Let's write a basic chord progression with this guideline showing us what's in and what's out. So you can literally take this and just try stuff. I'm not going to go over all the rules of writing a chord progression, but in a minor scale, there are major chords as well as minor chords. I'm not going to go over all that right now. We're just going to write a progression. Okay, so we have a basic chord progression. And so I'm going to show you guys how to turn this into something complete. And since we have this guideline, we can see that D is not a minor, because if you put the 2 in here, it's not in the E minor scale. So we had to raise this to a major chord. So we have a chord progression, right? These are very basic chords. What you can do is now play around with the order of the notes. So for example, this is a G. You could raise it up an octave. That's still an E minor chord, but if I raise the G up an octave, it just sounds different. Say I want to take the B and I want to duplicate it and raise that up an octave. It makes it more interesting. Say I want to take everything and just lower it an octave. Check this. So now I'm going to take this D, I'm going to lower it. I'm going to take the B, I'm going to lower it an octave. Still the same chord. These are different voicings of the same chord. So check this out. Let's raise that up. See, we're spreading out these chords. I'm just trying random stuff and using some intuition to just kind of see what sounds good. What we had before was some basic minor chords, and now we're expanding them. We're making them richer. If you're just starting out, there will be a point where you might not understand exactly what you're writing in. You might not know what the name of it is, if it's diminished, if it's augmented. You might just not have that familiarity. I know my music theory basics, so I can tell what's what. But at a certain point, I'm not at a jazz musician level with it. Some of the stuff I do and why I can make music that becomes a hit record, I try to learn as much as I can, but at the end of the day, it's not about being perfect. It's about writing music that has emotion and that moves people. Now at this point, I'm not so much thinking about musically what it is theory-wise or exactly what kind of chord it is and that sort of thing. I'm just using my intuition to see what notes sound good, basically what feels right. Whatever level you're at, you can just enjoy the process and learn as you go. I know that this note, that note in the chord stood out to me, so I wanted to go da 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 da. You can see these two notes are together. We'll see if that works. Check it out. Let's take that out. Nope, it doesn't work. It's like trial and error. You write your melody. Another trick is the bottom note, if it's in E minor, da, 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 that can be the bass line. This is a piano, so we want to make it sound a little more realistic. How would you play a chord on a piano? You're not going to just hit it down like this. We're going to roll into it. We're going to make it imperfect. What I'd like to do is just adjust the start time. In Ableton, if you hold down Command, you can adjust the velocity of each note right from the piano roll. You might want to adjust the velocity. That will give it also more of a realistic sound, like it's an actual player. And what's dope is in Ableton, in the piano roll, if you hit scale in Ableton 11, when you select the scale, now you can see exactly what notes are in or out of the key. So you can choose to keep it in key or do something out of key. So like, if I want to create tension, I could move some of the notes from the last chord out of key. So let's see. Let's try that. It might just be one note that we move out. Could do that. Maybe for like a different kind of turnaround that would work. I don't want to do that for this, but that's something you can play with too. If you put more notes close together, it's going to give it a more jazzy, augmented kind of feel. We have our basic chord progression here. I'm going to just duplicate this and let's hear the whole thing. Let's slow it down. When it goes into the next chord, I want to change it. Okay, so now check out the whole progression. I'm going to slow it down a little bit more. We have a chord progression. Now we have to like gritty it up, make it our own. I'm going to throw a tape plugin on it. I got a sketch cassette. Let's just gritty it up a little bit. Let's throw some reverb on it. This was all with some basic minor chords. We turned it into this so far. Very lush, thick chords. Now we have our chords, so let's write a melody. In Ableton 10 or 11, you have ghost notes. How I might do that, if I wanted to write it on the piano roll, is duplicate the track. Let's make it a different color, assign to clips, and we'll make a new clip. If you highlight both of these and then go into your piano roll, you can see you have both of them. If you hit focus mode, with this bar at the top, you can switch between the melody track and the chord track. Now that I can see where my chords are, I can start writing in a melody that goes along with the chord or goes outside because we have the scale highlighted. So basically anything in this blue is going to work in key. All right, let's see what we like. We're just writing whatever right now. We basically have a melody. I'm just going to duplicate that. We might have one section with the chords and then a melody. One thing I like to do with the melody is just freak it because we have a pretty basic melody. It's just a simple piano sound. So let's throw a halftime on it. That can sometimes give you interesting results. That's pretty much it. How you can come up with a melody without knowing a ton of music theory. Just using your intuition and writing something dope. Is that helpful for you guys? How many of you guys know that? This is more of a beginner type of thing, but I think that anyone could benefit from that because I know some people who feel insecure. They feel like, oh, I don't know much music theory. Well, guess what? Some people who don't know a ton of music theory are the best producers, the best writers, because music is an intuitive thing. Does that mean do not learn music theory? Don't use music theory? Hell no. Any chance you get to learn music theory, take it and help you to become better. But you have to start where you're at. So what I tried to do with that is For any of you who might be writing and don't know any music theory, use the trick I showed you to write out chords. Writing out a minor chord is start at 0, go up 3, and then 7. That's a minor chord. Start at 0, go up 4 to 7. That's a major chord. I can get into augmented, diminished, sevenths and ninths. That's basically going to get you started in writing chord progressions. On top of that, you have tools like Cthulhu, tools like Scalar, which can help you even level up your chord game even more. I just wanted to drop that for you guys. A little cheat code. That's something you normally pay money for, but I wanted to give it to you guys for free 99. Now I have that chord progression. I'm gonna save that because I'll use it for something. I might fuck it up on some crazy trap shit or something. Now that's a sample that I can flip and do some shit with.